Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Book Flash podcast. I'm Jeff, and as always, I'm here with Lisa. How are you doing today, Lisa?
I'm feeling awesome, Jeff. I'm especially excited about today's episode because we're diving into a book that's all about embracing your inner badass. Jen Sincero's You Are a Badass. This book has been a game changer for so many people.
Absolutely. And it's not just about feeling good, it's about making real, lasting changes in your life. So, let's kick things off with a question. How many of you listening have ever doubted yourselves? Raise your hands even if we can't see you. We know you're out there.
Right. Self-doubt is something we all struggle with at some point. And that's where Sincero really comes in strong. She starts by telling us to love and accept ourselves, just as we are.
Exactly. And I love how she puts it. She says, you need to go from wanting to change your life to deciding to change your life. It's such a powerful shift, don't you think?
Definitely. It's like, how many times have we wanted something but didn't take action because we were afraid or unsure? What if we asked ourselves, what's the worst that could happen if we actually went for it?
Great question, Lisa. And let's ask our listeners what's holding you back right now. Take a moment to think about it. And while you do, let's talk about one of the key ideas from the book, changing our mindset.
Yes, Sincero really dives into the idea that our beliefs shape our reality. If we believe we're not good enough, guess what? We're going to act like we're not good enough, and that's what we'll get. But if we start believing that we are capable, everything changes.
Right, and she gives practical advice on how to shift those limiting beliefs. One of my favorite tips from the book is to write down your limiting beliefs and then rewrite them as positive affirmations. For example, if you think, I'm not good at public speaking, you change that to, I'm a confident and engaging speaker.
Oh, I love that. It's like reprogramming your brain. And speaking of which, let's throw another question out there. How many of you are ready to start reprogramming your mindset right now? Drop us a comment or message us. Let's start a conversation.
Absolutely. Let's keep this interactive. Now, let's talk about taking bold action. Sincero is all about getting out of your comfort zone and just going for it. She says, you are a badass. You were born with the ability to live the life you desire.
Yes. And this part is so crucial. It's one thing to believe in yourself, but if you don't take action, nothing changes. Jeff, what's a bold move you've made recently that took you out of your comfort zone?
Oh, that's a good one. I'd say starting this podcast was a big leap for me. I've always been more of a behind-the-scenes kind of guy, so putting myself out there like this was definitely a stretch. But you know what? It's been one of the best decisions I've ever made.
And look at how it's paying off. For our listeners, what bold action could you take today that would move you closer to your goals? Think about it. And if you're feeling brave, share it with us. We'd love to cheer you on.
That's right. And don't worry about perfection, just take the first step. This ties into another key idea from the book, overcoming fear and doubt. Lisa, how does Sincero suggest we deal with those pesky fears?
She's all about facing them head on. Sincero says, fear is for suckers. She encourages us to look at our fears and realize that most of the time, they're just stories we tell ourselves. So instead of letting fear stop us, we need to use it as a motivator to push forward.
That's such a powerful mindset. Fear is only as big as we let it be. So, here's another question for our listeners. What fear are you going to face this week? Let's challenge ourselves to tackle it together.
Yes, let's do it. And before we wrap up, we can't forget about Sincero's advice on financial freedom. She talks a lot about shifting your money mindset and believing in abundance. Jeff, what stood out to you in this part of the book?
I loved how she breaks down the idea that money is just energy, and it's all about how we think and feel about it. If we view money as something that's hard to get, that's what our reality will be. But if we start seeing it as something that flows easily, we open ourselves up to more opportunities.
Exactly. And this ties back to the overall theme of living authentically. Sincero encourages us to be true to ourselves and go after what we really want, not what we think we should want.
So true. And that's where the magic happens when you align your actions with your true desires. Everything starts to fall into place.
Absolutely. So, as we wrap up today's episode, we want to leave you with this thought. You are a badass, and you have everything you need to create the life you want. The only thing standing in your way is you.
And we believe in you. So go out there and start living that awesome life you deserve. And remember, if you enjoyed today's episode, share it with a friend, leave us a comment, and let's keep this badass energy going.
We can't wait to hear about the amazing things you all are going to do. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on the Book Flash podcast.